Cain was the son of Adam and Eve. And now, there were no other creatures or there were no other humans which the Bible may be recorded. You know, the word of God is true and we cannot add, neither can we subtract. So there was no other human or there were no other human somehow, somewhere God created who Cain was afraid of, that when they find him, they will try to kill him, they want to slay him, they want to do him this. So there were no other humans like that. So I want you to recall back that Adam lived 930 years, and for 800 years he was producing children. Coming to us once again, this is N.N.Daniel. Today I want to answer one of the questions so many people have been asking. So many people, even Bible scholars, they have been asking this question. And the question there is, who was Cain afraid of? Or who were those Cain was afraid of when he killed his brother Abel? Who were those Cain was afraid that they will kill him when any of them finds him? I want to read us Genesis chapter 4 verse 13 to 14. It says, and Cain said unto the Lord, this is Cain now talking to God, said unto the Lord, my punishment is greater than I can bear. Behold, thou hast driven me out this day from the face of the earth, and from thy face shall I be hid. I shall be a fugitive and a vagabond in the earth, and it shall come to pass, take note of this, for it shall come to pass that everyone that findeth me shall slay or kill me. Now, he became afraid that somehow someone who finds him will kill him for the atrocity in that he killed Abel. So he was afraid that they will find him, a group of people or a single individual may find him and will just want to kill him. So he was afraid. This was when God had to drive him away from the land, to send him out far from Adam and Eve, to send him away. So he became afraid, and this was him talking to God. He said, because anyone who finds me will want to kill me, will want to slay me. So who were these people he was afraid of, that any of them may find him and will kill him? Now I want you to understand, because in my other video I answered the question so many people were asking, or so many people have been asking. If you've not watched that video or listened to it, then I encourage you to do that. I answered the question, who was Cain's wife? So in that video, I made us to understand that Adam and Eve were the very first and the only two humans God created. And we all generated from Adam and Eve. So even the people Cain was being afraid that they would kill him, they were automatically from the lineage of Adam. Now, Cain was the biological son of Adam and Eve. He was a biological son. And Adam and Eve, they had so many other children, because you have to remember that Adam lived for 930 years. Again, I will say, he lived for 930 years before dying. And from the time he started having his children, that's from Cain till the last child, he had to, in fact, it was 800 years. He used 800 years of his life to bring out children, to have children, to impregnate his wife, for his wife to bear him children. So for 800 years of Adam on earth, he had to bring forth so many children. So the question now is, Cain was the son of Adam and Eve. And now, there were no other creatures, or there were no other humans which the Bible may be recorded. You know, the word of God is true, and we cannot add, neither can we subtract. So there was no other human, or there were no other humans somehow, somewhere, God created, who Cain was afraid of, that when they find him, they will try to kill him, they want to slay him, they want to do him this. So there were no other humans like that. So I want you to recall back that Adam lived 930 years, and for 800 years he was producing children. And so just imagine if you get to consider at the age of 200 of Adam, while he was 200, I want to believe that he must have had grown-up daughters, and these daughters must have been married to their own brothers. And just as Cain took one of the sisters, the daughters of Adam, so they must have taken their own sisters also, and they must have had so many children with them. And maybe by the age of 250 years of Adam, he must have been having great-grandchildren. You understand? Then not to talk of at the age of 800 or 930, they must have had great-grandchildren. You see? So these children must have been intermarrying. Sisters must have been married to their brothers, cousins married to their cousins, and just like that, and so on and so forth. Second cousin being married by second cousin, third cousin marrying to your niece, your nephew. So it was like that, and there was great crowd. There was a huge multiplication that Adam and Eve had before he died. So within the time when he was being punished, he must have seen some of these children who were growing up. And I want to believe there were ladies and there were gentlemen. There were giants among them, not just giants. I mean, there were some of the children of Adam who were huge, who were strong, muscular, and he must have weighed himself. One thing you have to understand is that even though Cain was the first son or the first child of Adam and Eve, but I believe that he wasn't the strongest. Are you getting me? He wasn't the strongest. Had it been he was the strongest among them, if he was indeed a giant, then he wouldn't have had anything to fear of. So he must have seen so many of them, and he must have seen how a good number of them were bearing children, and the children were growing, and he became scared. He became scared. And life then was never like you will live for 100 years and die. The average death rate, the lifespan within then, it was 900 years. It was 900 years. So people were living 900. You can see even people like Noah, who they lived for 800 and something years. People like Methuselah, he lived for 900 and is it 950 or 69 years? How many years? So people lived for quite a long time. People were living then. Not like now that people are living for 72 years. Some will live for 80, and you hear that this man lived for long. People were living there. So there were these children that Adam and Eve produced, and they had so many children. And their children's children were born, and they were born. And so these were the people Cain was afraid of. He was scared. He was afraid that
Holy